All right, I know I'm not the chair, but I'm going to say this meeting's beginning at 4:33, and we're going to skip the minutes from last week since I am not seeing those in SharePoint.
Motion to assign VP Rubio as facilitator until President Green is able to fully join.
He was also joining from his phone.
I see. Who's?
Hi, I'm able to take over if necessary.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I don't know if that's a motion for vote or what, but.
Nope, it'll
Okay.
work.
Great.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, not necessary. So, all right, VP Rubio.
Right. Oh, I see President Green's here. She's able to jump on already. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Yeah, I guess we don't have the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
I second.
Great. Sorry. I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me, but I believe we're on to public comments now, right?
Yes, and we have the provost here to.
Yeah,
Members.
welcome for those talking.
We also wanted to make the comment about the timer. Should I just do this since we're kind of going out of order? Okay, cool. So starting today, just so everybody's aware, when we get down to the 1 minute warning, I'm going to have my audio turned on, and then I will have an audio recording essentially to go off as a timer. So as when we're in person, there would be the iPhone alarm that goes off. I'm going to institute the same thing just so we're respectful of time. We'll still have the motions if people want to extend time and all of that, but just so that there's a audio signal, hey, this is where we're at for time. But that's all I needed to add or interject at this time.
Perfect, thank you. And actually, I would like to entertain a motion for President Green to take over.
We can move into public comments. Let's do that.
Perfect. Welcome, Provost Hawken.
Thank you, Senator Rubio. Good evening, everybody. Wolfpack family, it's good to see you. See your smiling faces, even though it's midterms. As always, and on behalf of my colleague, Tim Casper, who's with us tonight, I just want to thank you students for your leadership, for your resilience. You're amazing, and we're really proud of you and remain inspired by you. As Provost and Chief Academic Officer, you know, my life's a little crazy right now like yours. I don't have a real organized formal presentation, but I put together some notes that look something like that. Just to share a couple of topics in the academic arena that I thought you would find of interest. And then certainly if you have any questions for me today or anytime, I am available to you. So let me just start with a little note about spring 21. Let's just jump into spring since you're halfway done with fall. We have put out a very clear guideline for our academic offerings for spring at this point, and you will find that spring is being designed as a mirror image of fall. That is about 70% of our courses on live or online live or some other remote delivery mode, about 25% hybrid, and a rare 5% fully face-to-face. I will say, however, that we will, and we are prepared to adjust the academic portfolio based on two things. One, of course, is the health and safety of everybody. So as the health conditions evolve, we stay light on our feet and we're ready to adapt as we need to. Secondly, we will adapt that portfolio based on what we're learning about student success from last spring, this summer, and now this fall. And we will make adjustments based on what we're learning about student needs. And I want to reiterate that that ratio is not preferred or ideal for anybody, not for students and not our faculty, but it's where we're at. And we are going to put forward the highest quality, engaging options for you as we possibly can. Also, for spring 21, the credit, no credit option for students will continue for one more semester. And as a reminder, the credit, no credit option is, we have a MOU, a memorandum of understanding with the UW system so that those credit, no credit, the credit, not no credit, you guys don't get no credit. The credit grades in lieu of a letter grade will transfer without problem to the UW system. Also want to let you know we are investing heavily in innovations in quality and simulation and virtual reality. It's especially important in our protective services and healthcare areas, but we see simulation, virtual reality, artificial intelligence as one of the next frontiers in higher ed. And we have recently added 4 full-time faculty and 1 full-time staff through some additional CARES funding to support that effort, with more to come. Also, just a cool note, something you can all be proud of, we can all be proud of, our culinary faculty and some of our second-year culinary students over the last few days have been in our kitchens at the Truex campus preparing meals for 1,200 people on behalf of the college for the Second Harvest Food Bank. Also, we are continuing our efforts around transfer, specifically building transfer options that are 2+2, completion at Madison College and starting as junior status at the transferring institution. The 2 kind of new cool ones in the works. One is a criminal justice transfer agreement with a minor in digital forensics at UW-Platteville. And just last Friday, I met with the team from the UW School of Business, and we are starting to craft transfer options for the first time. And you guys, I've been trying to crack the UW School of Business for over a decade. And I'm an alum, undergrad and master's from there. And we are on a path to offer a 2+2 transfer in undergraduate online degrees in business. So stay tuned on that. It's very exciting. Lastly, two last things. One, we have crafted and launched our first ever academic diversity officer position. That position reports directly to me and works in concert with the cabinet, Dr. Daniels and Lucia Nunez. Our first academic diversity officer is Dr. Jeff Bradshaw, who is also the Dean of International Education. So he's doing a bit of a dual title and a dual role this year. And that role is really to be the point person, sort of strategy liaison for academic initiatives in the equity and inclusion space and help coordinate those college-wide. We have also, in heavy draft form, we have the academic equity and inclusion plan, including 5 statements of commitment, and that will be the scaffold for which each school and each academic unit will hang their own action and strategic plan. Those are due November 30th. So some really excellent momentum in that area, and I know that's aligned with the Student Senate priorities as well. I am rebranding the umbrella term for my area, which has long been known as learner success, rebranding it to academic affairs. It's a much better description of the whole collective of what is in the academic arena and is much more well known on the national higher ed landscape, and it further clarifies who we are in alignment with Dr. Casper's unit in student affairs. And lastly, I wanted to give you a quick update from my perspective from the Academic Council on the timely digital response policy that you've all heard about before. And I want to start my closing note here with a thank you to Shai Fisher, who is our new student on the Academic Council and whose voice in the Assembly and whose voice on the Academic Council is articulate and professional and insightful, and he has made an immediate impact. So thank you, Shai. The timely digital response policy is universally supported by the Academic Council. I could go on and on and on about it. Suffice to say, after spirited conversation, it was thumbed down at the Assembly. It is now in Dr. Daniels' hands, as is the process that we have designed in shared governance called Impasse. Dr. Daniels visited the Academic Council today, and voiced great support for the work, for the policy, and for the academic council. He will be waiting the requisite 2 weeks for any other interests or options to be brought forth to him, and then he will announce what he's going to do. So I wanted to give you an update on that because we as a council and I as a provost am very clear on how important that is to you as students. So that'll conclude kind of my very unreadable notes, and I'm happy to answer any questions again either tonight or offline anytime. Katrina, I see you've got your hand up there.
Greetings and salutations, Provost Lockett. How are you?
I'm, you know, like you guys, I've had some ups and downs in this crazy world, but I'm focusing on the ups, and me and my family are doing just fine. Thank you very much.
Spectacular. I've just totally been missing seeing everybody on campus. The question that I have is, in my public safety meeting, a question came up, and I just wanted to verify, will all in-person classes that are currently on campus have to end by Thanksgiving break this semester?
Yep. Thanks, Katrina. So the fall plans are that we will indeed complete all face-to-face components of the hybrid courses by Thanksgiving. The plan is to go as much 100% remote as we can after Thanksgiving. So after Thanksgiving, courses would continue in a virtual format. We do have, I forget the exact number, it's like 155 courses that are 8-week and 4-week courses that the impact would be too great. So there's about 155 or 160 courses that will continue to have face-to-face components, but the majority of courses will finish their face-to-face components by Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
I've never heard the Student Senate this quiet ever in all my years of visiting with you guys. Be shy, please.
I think it's because it's midterms week.
I know. You're just tired. I get it.
You know, in my report about the academic council, I think I'll share some of the things we were talking about toward the end of academic council today, as we begin to have new considerations. So I just use that this time to express that I won't ask any really challenging questions because I think that some of these conversations are likely to be repeated. So I just want to thank you for coming to Student Senate today and, you know, continuing to do the work that you do.
Thank you, Shai. I appreciate it. Back at you.
I think President Green's having some technical issues. I'm not sure if he was trying to ask a question, but he asked if I could hear him. So we still might be chairless.
Okay, so I will just continue running things along. But yeah, again, Provost Buckley, thank you so much for being here. And again, is the best way to reach out to you if we do have any other further questions is just to kind of send you an email on a chat on Teams, or would you prefer email?
Either one, Teams,
Perfect.
or you can email me directly. Probably not calling me. I've been on campus pretty scarcely, but whatever question you have, even if I can't answer it, I'm happy to be a triager and make sure that you get a response.
Awesome. Thank you so much again.
Mhm.
So we do have an additional public comment that has been added. Tim Casper is here to speak to something that came up at the Student Activities Board meeting.
Awesome.
So we will open up the floor for Tim. We didn't discuss how much time you wanted, but the floor is yours.
I will try to keep my remarks to 3 minutes. So thank you. Thank you all, student senators. Appreciate this opportunity to join my colleague, Dr. Bakken. Do want to echo her words of thanks for Senator Fisher, Senator Jones, and others who have been actively involved in the policy recommendation about timely feedback to students. It was a lengthy at the College Assembly, a challenging conversation at the College Assembly, but so pleased to hear the students' voices articulating the need for that important policy. Tonight, I just want to provide you an update on a discussion or a presentation we made last week at the Student Board. So at the Student Activities Board, Jason Verhelst, who is a member of our athletic department staff, and I talked to the Student Activities Board about an expansion of our services at the group health clinic located in the Health and Education building. And so working with GHC over the summer and into the early part of this fall, and understanding how they were treating their patients that come into the GHC clinic at the Madison College campus, they, talking with us, made a decision that we would provide the testing for flu and COVID for students who might be presenting mild flu-like symptoms. And as many of you are now aware, individuals who are presenting flu-like symptoms, those could potentially be COVID-like symptoms. And so a student who might call the GHC clinic and talk to a nurse or other health professional from GHC, if the understanding in the assessment is that those are mild symptoms, the person would come and get their workup and be tested for flu and COVID-19 at that facility. If the assessment by the health professional in the phone call with the student was that it seems like it's a moderate or more severe symptoms, then they would be referred to GHC's clinic on West Washington Avenue here in Madison. And so again, the thinking of GHC and the health professionals there was that they don't want to turn someone away who might be presenting with flu-like symptoms, because it could be either flu or COVID, and they would want to have that tested. And so those services will be expanded so that those are covered services for you as a student if you don't presently have health insurance. If you do presently have health insurance and you presently use the GHC Madison College Clinic as your healthcare provider, then your insurance will cover that as it normally does. And if you have a different insurer and choose to get your healthcare at the GHC clinic, then that insurer would be billed for those services. And if there was any copay, then you may be responsible for that as well. So just wanted to articulate that service is available. We did it working in conjunction with the health professionals at GHC. The other thing I want to make people aware, if they're not familiar with that space, the GHC clinic space does share a large reception area with our dental hygiene program. Our risk manager, who has been managing social distancing, worked with our healthcare program, the dental hygiene program, to make sure that those faculty and students and their patients do not spend any time in the waiting area. So they have changed their practice, and now those individuals go directly into a waiting room within the lab portion of the dental health clinic. So that concludes what I wanted to share this evening. And I wanted to let you all know that I'll be communicating this more broadly to the students in an email communication next week, probably Monday or Tuesday.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I saw immediately there was a question in the chat.
Okay.
Is the test free?
So if you are currently a Madison College student and you are eligible, which means you are either taking a class at a Madison campus, so either the Truax campus or the Commercial Avenue campus or the Goodman South campus in a face-to-face form, yes, you're eligible. If you are a remote learner, an online learner, which the vast majority of you are, you too are eligible to receive the service. And so again, it's if you don't already have existing health insurance and you go and you receive the test, yes, you will not be charged for the test. If you do have an existing insurance that you're using at GHC, whether it's the GHC insurance itself or you have a Blue Cross Blue Shield product or Dean Health or somebody else, that insurance would be billed for the service. And that'll be included in a write-up with my communication.
Awesome. Good to know. Advisor
Steve?
Rome?
I think you may have said this, but I just wanted to clarify again that if you're going to go to the GHC clinic, you have to call ahead. It's by appointment only. And for the most part, it sounds like they are not encouraging people to come in for the COVID test, right? They are. That's what I understood.
If you're expressing symptoms, flu-like symptoms, right? And I'm not a health professional, so I don't know what questions they're asking you over the phone, right? To help determine, right? Are they of a mild nature? Because you could have a common head cold, right? I mean, there's other things out there other than COVID and flu, right? So you may be just generally feeling under the weather. They'll assess those symptoms. You may come in, maybe during the course of your workup, right? Not being a healthcare professional myself, they may not even need to provide you the flu or COVID test. They may say, okay, it seems like you experienced this, and they might be aware of, again, other viruses and common colds that are going on in the public health sphere, and so they might be able to make an assessment that it's not necessary. But again, if they read through their telephone assessment with you that you feel like you're at a more severe level of symptoms, then they would be referring individuals to their clinic on the West Washington Avenue, because that is where they are doing that bit of business, if you will.
Yeah. So it's not like we're opening up COVID testing at the GHC clinic.
No.
It's very limited.
Correct. It is very limited. And again, you have to have an appointment and have some sort of symptoms. So you cannot go and say, hey, I'm going to visit my grandma. I want to make sure I'm safe. Can I go to the GHC clinic to get a test? No, you may not do that. That is not the purpose of the testing service.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like it's safe to say the phrase "a time of uncertainty" is like understatement of the year. Let's see, Senator Willis, you had a question?
I was just going to say, I hope people are aware that there is a version of symptoms for people with COVID where they don't have flu-like symptoms. It's more allergy-like symptoms, no fever, no headache. And unless they've actually been exposed to someone that tested positive within 6 feet or 15 minutes, and 15 minutes, they won't get tested. But I just wanted to mention that there is that other class of symptoms where it's so mild, where it's almost like having just an allergy, that those people are positive, are testing positive right now too.
Right. And again, not being a healthcare professional, the staff there, as they continue to learn more, right, and better understand what might indicate someone might have the COVID condition, that they'll make those decisions with you as a patient about where to get tested, whether, again, to get tested there at the clinic on the campus or to be referred to their clinic on West Washington Avenue.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Pester, I don't see any other questions.
I've got one more.
It's been a pleasure. Is there?
Yeah. I did see one here
Sorry,
in the
I know my
chat.
phone's-
Yep, no problem. I did see one question in the chat. I've got this in my email, so I'll dig it out of my email, how long it takes to get the test results. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe I've got a response in my email.
Senator Bowes?
It's about 48 hours.
From the GHC clinic?
Yes. It's 48 to 72.
Okay. That sounds like in line with what I had seen, but again, I couldn't remember off the top of my head. So thank you for that.
Awesome. All right. Well, it looks like that wraps things up. Thank you so much for joining us and informing us.
Well, thank you all, and have a good rest of the Senate meeting this afternoon. I will see you soon.
Sounds great. We look forward to it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So down to officer and committee reports. President Green, if you want to post yours in the chat, if your microphone still isn't working, otherwise if it is.
Can people see me?
Oh yeah.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah, we see you and hear you.
All right. My report. People doing what they need to be doing. I'm happy to see that they're doing them. I like seeing them walk, getting together, doing friendship-like activities, and really build good ties with being able to work and help the students best. And that was really great to be a part of. I enjoy having talks that sometimes can be a little bit difficult because we get to see each other from different points of view. And I'm talking about everyone here, because everyone has a unique different perspective on how they may view something. And it's the collective sum of all of us is what makes it so fun and enjoyable. There's nothing really on my boat. I wish I got a chance to ask for covering that fee was going to come out of the student. And I also wanted to know, was whatever Dr. Spearman said about covering up to 20 grand in addition to talking about COVID testing, and or why can't the students see the student health contract? If it's those are the questions I was struggling. I don't know why none of my freaking devices work. That has never heard that happen. So yeah, that's my stuff. I don't really have. I'm doing a lot of schoolwork. So let me move down here. Bear with me as it's a little bit different now how I'm navigating. Good thing I got up on the screen. Okay, nope, it's not. Was mine supposed to be the executive council report? Is that what I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Officer and committee reports.
Yeah. Well, I'll just add that quick bit, and then, like I said in the beginning, and talked about Barbara brought up a lot of cool things. WSG was something. Was Kahoot a thing as well? I don't know exactly what Kahoot was. Maybe that was part of the management game that Barbara was talking about. There wasn't anything specifically big. I mean, this week was I think this week was meant to kind of be a little bit of a chill week as much as possible, but yeah. One thing I forgot to do is I forgot to ask you, Advisor Roma, about, I'm so sorry. I hate this so much. I'm just not ready. And everything is sticky. It's so gross. Anyone who wanted to join the Racial Inequity Committee, who had expressed interest in had sent the forums and whatever. If I talked to Shai and I said, yeah, we could give them I was saying theoretically, and then I forgot, but we could get them in as soon as Wednesday, and you could start having, then obviously I forgot. So I'm saying right now, I'm not forgetting by saying something right now. I'm just saying, I want to see if we've got people. Shai made it clear he does not want to know to keep it completely what's the best word, impartial, or fair, doing it the right way, whatever. And so yeah, I guess we're gonna have to hit up on next Wednesday, but I want to make sure that I don't forget it again. So that's why I'm bringing it up to you, Advisor Rome. So that's it. So and the report.
Great.
Zebel has a question.
Yeah, Eric.
So I didn't understand half of that. What What was that half, that last part you said?
I guess I was
Regarding-
more or less explaining all the
Regarding
different things.
Senator Fisher's, we're talking about it, but I didn't catch what you were regarding.
Trying to turn up the volume. Say that you said regarding as the last word I heard. What was the beginning word? Like
You
what
mentioned-
was,
You mentioned something with Senator Fisher, but I didn't get what you were regarding.
Yeah, him. If you did, I'm assuming everyone looked at Senator Fisher's 10-week racial inequity plan, where he, over a course of the 10 weeks, he develops these cores of assembling these people from not only the Senate, but other student organizations, faculty, staff, affinity groups. We're talking, you name it. But that gives us a wide voice throughout the school, and he has doing a unique method, and very innovative one of
Basically
trying
what
to
I
do it in a
said in the
score-like system. So that's what I was referring to. Applicants did, and that if they're interested, they might be appointed right away. And if they're appointed right away, that means for his first score, he meets quorum, I believe. Isn't that correct, Senator? Discussing business. So we want to make sure we let him give us discussing business. Does that make sense, Senator Fisher? Senator.
That makes complete sense. Love it.
Awesome. Anybody else have any questions I can answer? And I, again, don't have all my screens up, so I'm taking a look in the chat box.
No questions.
Who had a question?
No questions.
Oh, okay, no questions. Oh, thank you. All right, well then, yeah, that's the end of my report. Moving down to admin and finance with VP Rubio.
Hi, everybody. So the Admin and Finance Committee meetings will be the second Monday of every month from 10:30 to 11:30. This month, though, we did push our meeting. So we had our meeting this most recent Monday. Basically, we went over kind of the structure of what Admin and Finance Committee will consist of. So we immediately started breaking down the 3-year plan, since that'll be a big portion of what the Senate does. We also, during our next meeting, we're going to focus on just kind of discussing the budget a little bit, and then we are all brainstorming right now on coming up with a sick policy, and just kind of, we're working on that aspect together. And then the sections of the 3-year plan are kind of broken up. So for those of you that are chairing certain committees, you may encounter one of our members just for a couple of quick questions, or for those of you that have been in Senate in the past. But obviously, we're not going to make you do any work. We just might have a couple questions, so just keep that in mind. Otherwise, that does conclude my report, unless there's any questions.
All right, looks like no questions. Or was there a question? I thought
No
I heard
questions.
something.
No questions.
Okay, cool. Sorry. There is definitely a delay on this. All right, moving down to Legislative and Rules Committee with VP Boyd.
Yep, I don't really have a specific update for the committee itself. I will in special reports talk about the WSG meeting that was last week, but otherwise I have no report at this time.
All right. Thank you very much, VP Boyd. VP Moreno with the Team Development Committee.
Hello, guys. So, hope everyone's doing good on this rainy day. So, the things that I have for my report today is that you hopefully all received the email for the when to meet for the trivia night event with Senate. So, if you can fill that out, that way we can have the event running, and that should definitely be fun. It's gonna have a lot of different questions. Not only trivia. It's gonna have Senate questions. It's gonna have Wisconsin questions. A bunch of stuff. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna laugh. Also, we're gonna have more events coming, but we'll bring a formal good, simple explanation of how things are gonna run for the next meeting. Just because the team development committee will meet tomorrow, and an event that I do have that we would like to do, and I think that just because I used it for a PTK conference, and it's an escape room, like a virtual escape room, which should be pretty fun. Also, talking about next GA, it's really close to Halloween, so the invitation is open for all of us to dress up, put a costume, it's just a top part. And important student presentations, which VP Rubio and I will talk about that later today. But those are the things that I have. Thank you.
Any questions for VP Moreno at this time? Oh, that's very unique, Eric. Thank you for that. I'm going to move on then after that really terrible question. Terrible answer. Okay. Last but not least, the one and only VP Saeed with the public relations.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right. So, I don't have a whole lot of report to say, but I just want to give some quick updates on the 3 week. So I'm posting 3 posts every week. So if you guys didn't check it out, feel free to check it out and leave a like. We do post on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and also I'm working with my team to summarize the order details for promotional items. Some of the items which we were thinking was maybe like a stress ball, some pens, maybe like a sanitizer, but we are still looking into it. So if you have any ideas, do let us know. And I think that's it for my report. Yeah.
Stickers. That's the coolest one. Sam Fisher.
Yes, I'm not sure if folks are aware of this, but the all student-wide email that went out for the student interest in joining the Racial and Equity Committee, that was in concert with our PR committee. So VP Saeed was instrumental in orchestrating that entire process, which will be repeated, and we'll go into that in just a moment. But my question was, because I'm hearing back from some folks that they did not receive the email. So my question is regards to how the Student Senate mass email distribution works, because as it turns out, I'm not sure that I received the email as a student. I received it as part of like a carbon copy, but I'm not sure I received it in that list. Are some people in the list and not in the list? How does that work?
I have asked the question multiple times, and they assure me, IT and other folks in my office assure me that all current students are supposed to be in there.
Yeah, Shai, you know what it's like with the Active Directory. All students, are supposedly supposed to be all in there, but I don't probably believe that that's 100% true, since I've seen a lot of mix-ups since I've started being here. And for example, I don't use my student account; I use my employee one. So, but yeah, technically yes, it's supposed to be hitting everybody. And if it didn't, I would love to see what that carbon copy one looks like. If you want to forward it my way, I don't really know what you mean, but if you one of those things where you sign something and then they give you the piece of paper.
I can address it real quickly, and I don't want to spend too much time here. That was kind of framed for VP Saeed, but I appreciate everybody with the experience answering the question. Yes, Ellie had carbon copied me onto the email, so that I guess my name would appear there, and as a result, we've had. I'll go into this in my report. Let me yield back from VP Saeed's, and I'll talk about it greater in my report.
All right, VP Moreno, you had something you wanted to say?
Yes, I just wanted to say that Alim, I think I could have an idea for that handing out like hand sanitizers and stress relievers, just because we worked with that not that long ago with a food pantry. So we have some of that stuff with the peer health educators as well. So I'll catch up with you for that, and we could
Sure.
kind of come up with something.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay, any other questions? I don't see, I wish I had two screens right now. No, nope. All right, cool. So moving down, and now advisor Rome.
Just the only thing is early voting in Wisconsin has begun. So if you don't want to vote on election day and you don't have or haven't mailed your ballot back in, you can drop it off at early voting locations, or you can actually vote early. If you are a City of Madison resident, Truax and Goodman South are both serving as early voting locations. If you don't live in Madison, each city clerk controls their own times and locations, but it is available from October 20th to October 31st. So make sure if you are eligible to vote that you get out there and vote, and there have already been long lines for early voting. So I can only imagine what it's going to look like on November 3rd.
Yeah, you betcha. Anyone have any questions for Advisor Rome? Don't see any. So moving down, student activities board. That's for me. A fun activity in the beginning. Marcus really represented us really well. So I think everyone should give Marcus a pat on the back virtually when you're with him separately. Just virtual pat on the back, make it. But no, he did a great job. And then I was happy to see that Shai joined as well. I thought that was very cool of you. Check out, it's very interesting when it's something different, but something also has some similarities. So that was good seeing you there. Basically, we went over some of the stuff we discussed, like the student COVID testing. Went over turbo vote, and that tool that Madison College is using to help do things like find where if you're registered to vote, where you can go to vote, like all the options, kind of like what Ellie kind of mentioned that, but it's solo, not that exactly 100% the same with the turbo vote aspect, but yeah, there were reports and updates from each of the organizations, all trying to get events in some way or another going, and being active. And that really seemed like it wasn't really the health fitness thing with Planet Fitness, but it really seemed like there was much left. Senator Senator Fisher, I apologize.
It's okay. I really do think of the Student Senate as a powerful body. I really believe that for this school. I think we have the ability to do a lot more than what some other organizations, just by their structure, are able to do within the school. That said, and I know that SAB is looking for alternates for from the Student Senate to represent there. What would be really helpful, I think, if possible, is to sort of have that checkout list from other student organizations, what their 15-second update is, because I think if other senators heard what was coming from other organizations, it might give us some ideas or just kind of tip us, toward, how to involve other organizations within the school. So I hear your report, and I'm just wondering if that can be a consideration for whoever is representing SAB, if it's yourself or VP Rubio or another senator, if they elect to be an alternate, even just a note taker to have those kind of updates from other student organizations. Because there was one about a pumpkin patch, or things for people to be involved, stuff like that. I think would be nice.
And to actually answer your question, that's my goal too. my goal is to say, hey, I feel like there's been a little bit of a disconnect between student organizations. We need to be more stronger than ever, and be able to feel like we can rely on one another and try to help where we can in each other's studio goals. In the end, we're really helping the student and the student engage with it. And so that's the real. Who cares if it which exact organization it goes to, as long as we're doing it. So I've met with three leaders on the SAB, PAC, PTK, and United Common Ground. I met with her on Friday, and I'm doing it in like kind of like a three at a time because yeah, it gets pretty hectic and busy. So I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping it, but after I get done talking to each one of them, I genuinely got a sense that they kind of felt like this was missing as well, and they were excited to work with these ideas that even we had, even the racial inequity thing. They wanted to back it up. Yeah, I'm getting around to them, and then my goal is that this goes along with Aleem. I have kind of given Aleem. I said I would like hey guys, from other student organizations, do you have stuff that you have interest in, like gatherings, help that comes in. It's supposed to all come to Aleem, but then Aleem, let's start off doing something like maybe making because really after a while it won't be a thing. It won't seem like anything because everyone's going to be sharing their stuff with everybody. I mean, I know it's kind of seems like a long goal item, but when you get something like the Hootsuite going, it really is not as it's really not as bad as it sounds. But what happens in the end is if that one student missed an opportunity because somebody wasn't able, they weren't part of the friends or the followers. Well, if Senate is and Senate's posting that, now maybe they do see that, and now maybe they do get involved, and that's what matters. Does that answer? Cool. All right. So moving down, I like that a ring. That's a unique one. I'm joking. Okay. Sorry, I got 3 mouses. Housing accessibility update. Senator Jones.
He is not present at this meeting.
Oh man, I'm worried about him. All right. Well, we will catch back up with them later. To be continued. The digital equity update. Senator Zebel. That should be changed. Yeah. Eric.
Yeah, what's up?
You go to the IT council meeting this morning?
No, I did not, but that's my report later on in life, isn't it?
Okay.
Anyways, the library, boom, is posted in the chat. It's open. That's about it, honestly. There's different hours there. There's on the resources, you can go make up an appointment within the library if you need help, or go to the library, I guess. But yeah, that's my report.
I guess I don't really understand what you're trying to say, but it's fine.
The library is open.
Okay. So we have another possible area that is a breakout session. That's cool.
Can I add a comment?
Anything else?
So from what I understand of something that I read earlier is that the library is expanding access to the technology support aspect, right? That they are offering more appointments in person for students who have been on campus primarily up until now and who might be shifting to 100% remote after Thanksgiving. So that is what I understood, that they're expanding access to the technology support piece, anticipating that there might be more people who are just now getting into some of the technology. That's what I heard earlier.
Yeah, to help. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a lot more sense. No, put that way.
Yes, I should have went deeper. My bad. That was my.
Hey, it's okay, man. No worries.
Put the gist of it out there.
or at least he did something. That's all that matters. If no questions, I'm gonna keep her moving, and we're gonna go down to I need glasses. Racial and Equity Committee, Senator Fisher.
Okay, my report is short here. Ellie, if you have the ability while I'm doing this to give us maybe an update on how many student respondents we have on that survey, I was just really I was so happy last week when I think the number was 4 or 5, something like that, student respondents at the time. So the final day is tomorrow for this first cycle. There's been some questions, and I've been, trying to reach out to students individually and making sure that they're, understanding things well. There is a, sort of error with, the mass distro list, which I hope we can maybe revisit before the next cycle, because I want to make sure that everybody has this opportunity, especially, I'm thinking district-wide, especially students in other campuses. I want to make sure that they, are reached as well. So tomorrow, I believe I'm scheduled to do an Instagram takeover where it's sort of this impromptu AMA kind of thing. So, answering questions about racial inequity, although someone might come in with a stats problem or something like that, I kid. But in seriousness, I'm excited to see where this thing happens. I'm excited to have some senators appointed, or a senator appointed for the first cycle next week. And then there's another Senate appointment, which should happen in the second cycle. Ellie, I see your hand up, and I'm very casual right now. So why don't you ask your comment?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we have 9 applicants. So they are definitely coming in. And I don't know if this was shared widely, but Senator Haji was appointed to your committee. So there's officially 1 senator appointment. And then we'll work on the student appointments at the next exec council meeting.
Okay. All right. So that will basically, unless you're, I see another hand, Senator Willis.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask a question, but I think you're going to probably cover this anyway. So with you having 9 applications right now, what are you going to do with the people you don't appoint in the first round who've already submitted applications? Would they have to submit another application to be reconsidered, or how is that going to work?
That's a very good question. I was thinking about that too, because it wouldn't really make sense to fill out an application twice for the same thing. The email that was sent out to students included some language about if you're not selected in the first cycle, you may be considered for the next cycle. So that second email for the second cycle is just that. All the wording should stay about the same, and just saying, hey, this is the second cycle, and if there are more applicants, then there are more applicants. I know that makes it more difficult if there's just a lot of people. And I might go back to the framework and see if I don't ask the core 1 people whether or not we should have at least 1 more strictly student-only seat. The way that I'm framing it, though, for other students who are highly motivated to be on this thing is, hey, are you in any student organization? Because there will be a seat specifically for a representative of a student-led organization. So there are more than 1 way for students to be involved in this. And I hope that answers your question. They will still be considered.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator Fisher. If no other questions, moving it down. I just had to say that. I'm going to Textbook Affordability Committee. Obviously, that's vacant. Another follow-up question. Will students that have been allowed multiple seats? I guess by the rules, I would say that question has to be asked now after, or that question still be asked? I mean, I moved on, so
it's been answered in the chat.
Moving on. So. Well, okay. All right. Well, then I'm good. So yeah. Textbook affordability is vacant. Then going down to what do we got next? Okay, cool. Wisconsin Student Government with VP Bolt.
Can I make a comment about textbook affordability?
Well, I know you were on the I knew you were on it.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment that I did ask the bookstore manager and the rental program manager if they could come to a Senate meeting this semester. So we'll get an update from them.
And I think Denise should come too.
What?
I think Denise, who did the pantry, I think the textbook, I think that these big initiatives that we've done, these people should come and give us just an update. I think that's important.
Yes.
For everyone, but especially for past senators too. So yeah, I'm more than excited to hear about that.
Yeah. I just remember there were some questions last week, so I wanted to confirm that I did reach out, and one of them is out this week, so I don't have a date yet, but they'll be coming sometime, probably in November. Well,
that's great. And of course, you're the best. Of course you reached out. I would have expected nothing less. Okay, yeah, so Wisconsin Student Government, VP Boyd and Senator Sabranek. Go for it, guys. Team, 5 minutes.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, yeah.
I talked for a minute, so that's fine. So on Friday, we had an all-day meeting. It started 9 a.m., went through 3:30. Half the day was essentially collaborating or speaking with, dialoguing with student reps from the other technical colleges within the state. We had the assembly speaker from the Fox Valley present for a little while. And our primary focus coming from that meeting was the Wisconsin student government is considering a new officer role for a PR position. They are working out the language for how they want that role to be presented, if it's going to be an executive role or what. And in November, it should be defined whether that's going to be part of their executive panel or committee or however it's structured there. We also have volunteered for what makes our school different or what's important to know about Madison College, and we'll present that to all of the other technical colleges in November. So if there's anybody who would be interested in collaborating, offering input, thoughts, ideas, I'm completely open to it. Otherwise, the Legislative and Rules Committee will handle it, but I am completely open to input and hearing ideas of what you'd like presented to represent Madison College in the state platform, I guess. And then more, I think the bigger issue is Madison College will be leading the legislative seminar in February. So coming up in November, Ellie will be presenting a preliminary planning committee to the Wisconsin state government. And then after that concludes, we'll be looking and open to more input, again, from senators regarding the February planning. I think that's what I have. Lucas, do you have anything you would like to add from your experience or feedback from the meetings?
Oh, I think it covered a lot. I think if anyone has any questions, I'd be open to answering it, and I'm sure if you want to answer, you can answer some too. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question. My question is, so if I understand it correctly, and I might not be, we're stopping being a part of that Wisconsin student government thing that I went to last January, or whatever that first time.
What do you mean?
What was the thing I went to last with you and Elizabeth and with Eric? Wasn't that
was the legislative seminar?
Well, would they have any affiliation with Wisconsin student government?
That is.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, Jenna just said that Madison College is leading the charge for planning that in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wisconsin student government. So we'll have.
Maybe I'm just confused. The way I heard it, it made it seem like we're stopping it to look for other options that.
No, we're.
All right.
We're,
No,
we're
This
gonna,
is why I asked, because I was confused. You guys, I guess you guys, I don't want to waste time here. You guys can just talk to me after or whatever, so I understand, but at least I asked. So now, if anyone brings up anything, I'm just gonna say, I can't say, I have nothing to say. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Now, someone can ask their questions.
okay. The only other thing I would address during our time, and I will send this to Senator Jones directly because he had presented the questions. I just wanted to make sure they were publicly answered. He did ask information regarding the positions and where the money would come from for the funding and whether or not it was part of the budget or something new. And those were questions specific to what was provided last week, the 3 position statements regarding the potential for the grants and all of that. And regarding the first question, it would be new money that would be asked for from legislature, and that's the one that was based in open education resources. And then regarding the third question, which was about the 11.8 million GPR, that would be money that would also need to be asked for. The assembly member did not believe that it was likely that that would be granted, but he did, and my time is up, so I'll finish this thought really quickly, but that current funding would not be impacted. So he didn't anticipate that we'd get the increase that's being presented, but he did believe that current funding would stay at the status quo.
All right. I think you're muted.
You're muted, Sean.
President Green.
Can't catch a freaking break around here. All right, so no other questions it look like, so I'm gonna move on. Regional Metro Campus reports. Salary is currently vacant. Watertown is currently vacant. Portage, Senator Rugny. I did see her on this call. If she does have a report, I suppose, but at her own yeah. So you need rest, Missy. That's what you need. But I love the dedication. So we are ready to hear ya. Your beautiful voice.
Oh, it's not so beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Here I go. If I start coughing or something, I had sent these out to Jonathan, but I understand Jonathan's not here tonight. Is that what I understand?
Yes, that's correct.
I copied Ellie, so somebody should have it. You have it, Ellie? Okay, here I go. There's not much anyway. Our campus was closed today because we had a yellow jacket infestation. It is expected to open again tomorrow. Our blood drive will be December 1st. We are holding it at the United Methodist Church. Instead of the campus, it is it's on State Highway 51. The address for the United Methodist Church I included in my notes so that the students could get that off of our site if they wanted it. It's running from 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock on December 1st if anyone is up in this area and wants to give blood. That requested tech equipment, which I've talked about before, has not been delivered yet. I understand that Eric, he sent me an email that there might have been some progress. I'm sorry, I haven't gotten through everything to see that, but I checked with the Portage campus itself today and they said it wasn't, neither piece of equipment had been delivered. I have the Northern Region report. So I have a couple activities going on right now, and through tomorrow, we have an online pumpkin gas contest. So students in the Northern Region are eligible to do that through tomorrow. And then Friday, we are collaborating with the PTK's drive-by Halloween kit activity. Our organization is doing some candy treat bags to include with their distribution. So the Northern Region students will also get that candy treat bag. Our distribution times for Friday are from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon at Portage and from 9:30 till noon at the Reedsburg campus. I guess we'll be getting some stress balls in. I know there were talk of others having those. They must be popular with all the stress we all have going on. So those are just going to be available shortly for students to pick up at both of the campuses, Reedsburg and Portage. And then we are working on plans for an online turkey feather count. We got like a wicker turkey. We're going to throw some feathers in there and have them count that. That sounds kind of fun. And so we're finishing up plans for that, and the students in the Reedsburg and Portage region should be seeing that online soon. Our next meeting is scheduled for October 28th, and we're at noon. So it sounds like we're still moving around on when we are meeting. The advisor has had some family health challenges that have necessitated her being gone as well. So we're not meeting every week right now. So hopefully we all are on the mend soon, and we can get a regular time schedule for that. But if anybody wanted to virtually attend, that next one is noon on October 28th. Are there any questions? Then I guess that concludes my report.
Can someone talk?
Hello.
Yep.
Drop.
Can you
Hold on.
hear?
So I see Eric. Eric, you got a question at San Jose eval or done?
Yeah. So after reading what he and Jim talked about, he said that Linda Nellen had and him determined the best resolution for the problem. I don't know if that I wasn't a part of that conversation. Determined what the problem, how it was fixed.
Well, thanks, Eric. I did not get a hold of Linda. I talked with office staff today, so I'll check into with her and see where that's at, and I'll give you an update next week. Okay?
Okay, yeah, that'd be great, because that's he also said that Linda will reach out to the IT department staff to connect the new machine in the lobby and get it configured. But if there's no machine, then I don't know if that it was an MFP machine, if you know anything about that. But,
They had talked like last year. They had determined a specific machine that actually wasn't even that expensive and that are scattered throughout Truax. So I think that had been determined. It was just a matter of the budget. Well, it was budgeted for, but then making sure that it got put in, I guess. So I'll check in with Linda, see where it's at, and I will update you all next week. Thanks for your help with that, Eric.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okie dokie. Thank you for the report, Sarah Runge, and continue to get better. So moving down. Are we now in college assembly? Is that correct? Am I looking at that correctly?
That's correct.
All right. Well, I think everything about college assembly has pretty much been talked about by various people more higher up than me on this, and more who know about it, such as Shai. Just to summarize it in short, not to go into detail.
You shared a report last week, Sean.
Oh.
Nothing's different from then.
Oh, well then I got nothing. Then yeah, my report. I can't remember this whole week. All right, then we're done with my report. Academic Council, Senator Fisher.
Yes, so Academic Council did meet today just before this General Assembly, and we were honored and privileged to have Dr. Jack Daniels speak with us about what's next in that process regarding College Assembly. So it was a little bit of for those of you new to the chat, Senator Rugney and others who may just be watching this, the Academic Council's policy on timeliness was met at an impasse in the College Assembly. And what that basically means is that it's now up to President Daniels' decision as to what happens with that policy. So what he shared today was that he's going to consider the alternative policies, and there's a 10-day or such amount of time before a decision can be made. So we'll expect to hear his decision after that provisional period is complete. We're looking now at other things. So if any one senator or you want to share something from maybe one of your academic peers, the question of the day is about spring break 2021. And the options are like, what are the start times? So should it be a flex week? Should we leave the calendar alone? Should school resume earlier? So these are the kind of considerations. Right now, as of now, there are no changes planned, but they are, interested in getting some kind of input. So I would encourage all of you to, get in touch with me with regards to spring break. Just ask your friends, like, hey, what do you think? Because we're listening, and we will use that input to help inform better decisions. That, if I'm not mistaken, will conclude my report.
Okie dokie, buddy. That was pretty good. Thank you. Moving down to Diversity and Community Relations Council, VP Boyd.
Yep, we have not met and there's nothing on the calendar yet, so I have no report.
All right, thank you, VP Boyd. Then Facilities Planning and Investment Council, Senator Willis.
Good evening. We have not scheduled anything yet, but since Tina Ahito has been appointed as our co-chair, but they are in the process of trying to get a meeting scheduled. So hopefully by next week I can update you that there will be something planned before the end of the semester.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now moving down to Finance Council with Senator Ziegler.
Oh, thank you, President Green. Things have been a little sketchy here the last week or 10 days. I actually had a COVID test on Monday. I'm awaiting the results, and in a little bit of a fog here. I think it's best if the less I say, the better.
I would agree with you on that one. So if that said, if you do have any reports or anything, just send them to Senator Jones, and so that they can be in the books. But other than that, you get better, okay, buddy?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Information Technology Council, Senator Zebel.
All right. So I was half there and half not there because that storm connection issues, but we pretty much went over strategic planning and guiding principles again. And there wasn't much more after that. And we're going to actively solicit input from our stakeholders during those times and be more transparent on what we decide to do more with strategic planning. That's all I have to report on that.
All right, thank you, Senator Zebel. Now, if I'm correct, didn't Sheila read all of her stuff, Advisor Rome? Is that correct? So she only read the Northern part and she read the Portage part?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, then Institutional Effectiveness Council, Senator Runge.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that those had been separated out. Yes, I have the Institutional Effectiveness Council now. Ellie is now our new council co-chair. I'm not sure how that went down. Maybe Ellie can fill you in. I understand Tim Casper had to leave as co-chair, but the meeting I missed, something must have happened where he got elected. Due to his new leadership, our group wanted to review our council purpose and determine what our work was going to be for the remainder of our term. That was sort of where things were at when I missed the one meeting. So the change in chairmanship, I think, sort of just everything was held in status quo. The discussion that we had about this included working on a way to achieve Dr. Daniels' request that the councils be working on improving our equity and inclusion. So we reviewed our mission statement and determined there may be room in that already for us to work on that. But we still are trying to determine what might best fit the work of this council. So, we're kind of grappling with that right now. We shared the Healthy Minds survey review that had been completed, and we were going to share it, but then we postponed some information about that to the next meeting because we ran out of time for that. Also, next meeting, the Diversity and Community Relations Committee, pardon me, it's going to be joining us to share information. And our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 4th from 2 to 3 o'clock. So that's definitely a good time if anybody did want to look at joining up and sitting in on this meeting. I understand there is a student that is participating. I wasn't sure if that was a senator or not, but it looks like we've got good information coming in next time, and it might be a way to check it out. So, any questions? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Senator Rugni. Now moving down to Professional Development Council, Senator Willis.
No report.
All right, thank you, Senator Willis. Then Student Affairs Council, VP Moreno.
Okay, so my report right now is so Tim sent an email stating that he's grateful for the patience that we have been having and how things are starting to run up again in person and everything. We're gonna have a meeting planned for Friday, November 6th at 10:30, so 10:30 to noon, and we'll go over the mental health group that we have, and at the same time address all the other topics that we have listed, and I'll bring more information once that is over.
That's it. You mean over as end of your report? Okay. Any questions for Senator Moreno? I don't see anything. So then I'm gonna keep going. All right. Then we have no old business items. We have no new business items. Non-business housekeeping items. The classroom presentation done by VP Moreno and VP Boyd. Take it away, guys.
Oh, VP Rubio. Well, that's okay. So the idea is that since I think that we're both having issues with sharing screens, and I don't know, my computer is just all going crazy. Senator Rubio just shared all that I am going to start kind of talking about right now in the chat. So you guys all saw it and it's there, so you can say that you didn't saw it. So eventually, the idea is the purpose behind classroom presentations. In this case, it's always been, just let students know that the Senate is out there, we're here, we're listening, we're taking action. From the members of the Senate, it is just a good step towards inviting other students to either participate in Senate, which is part of that recruitment area, but at the same time, that other just informational, educational aspect. So The idea is that senators have an expectation, so this is a must do, to do the presentation. So this will count towards their stipend at the very end. And this is for always at the beginning of each semester, just letting students know from the student senate members the presentation. And obviously, because we are in a virtual aspect right now, it is not as simple as, just going in person and doing the presentation. So the way that we did it was that we updated the last presentation that we had. It should have the video that President Green, VP Said, and I recorded, just as like a little invitation. And it should have also like our goals, what have we achieved, our initiatives. It's very short. It doesn't take that much. And what else? Well, it is updated like for students to go to Wolfpack, so you can mention that as well. And the other thing that VP Rubio sent in the messages is the template emails. So we're kind of giving you that extra help as well. You don't have to write down the email, or if you want to change these, feel free to do so. But the message is still the one of, in a humble and adequate manner, present that you want to have the option of giving students more information about Senate, but with the permission of your professors, if that is okay with them. So in this case, you could do that through an email message through all the students, or through an announcement, or I know that some classes are using the discussion boards. And other than that, VP Rubio, is there anything that you would like to kind of go on top of that? Oh, well, and obviously let us know, either VP Rubio or myself, that you completed the presentations, because they are a must. Okay, now VP Rubio, if you had to say something, I'll give you the mic.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, VP Moreno. So just to reiterate and summarize, we want to recruit. Some people will probably be leaving, this upcoming spring, and then after that, people probably only have one semester. And this is awesome that we have all the seats filled right now. So, but not only do we want to recruit, this also gives the opportunity for students to, if they do have any concerns, to feel comfortable that they can share it with another student instead of faculty members, because students are going to feel more easily to connect to, people around their age and in their positions more than a higher up, just in case, I guess, maybe. But also to touch on initiatives in our 3-year plan and what our focus is on for Student Senate, just so people know what it is and it's defined. One thing that I've worked out with my instructor is we use Zoom, or excuse me, we use WebEx for our courses. So I have emailed her requesting for, at her convenience, just a 10-minute class period where I can share my screen and go through the slideshow so everybody can see it in my class. Because I'm hoping most instructors would be flexible, but for the sake of, if I post it in the discussion board, I'm worried, students will look past it. So I really want to represent the Student Senate by, making the effort of, getting everybody to get involved with at least, hearing about the Student Senate instead of just posting an email. So the email is worst case scenario. So please, please, please try to, even just have a few minutes in a Zoom with your class to do these presentations. And yeah, the slideshow is just 10 slides, so it's super quick, and then you'll play the video and then open up for questions. So yeah, it looks like Advisor Rome has a question, so I guess we'll start there. Or maybe a comment.
Yeah, so one comment, can we add to the template that you would actually send out to students to mention the virtual office? Because that is not in there, and we can put the direct link because we know that they're all students in your classes. So that'd be a great way to share the direct link, along with mentioning that the times are all posted in Wolfpack Connect. And then I thought we were going to actually give the presentation, but I understand some technical issues this evening. Can one of you actually record yourselves giving the presentation and send that out to everybody so that they get a feel for what it could look like?
Yeah, I definitely am gonna do that. I'm sorry, I don't have my computer today, you guys. That was my fault.
All good.
Couldn't someone just like tell me what to say and I say it like impromptu or whatever, and like we just, you know, if it's the fact of saying this stuff is more of looking at each other. It's like that's really what it comes down to, is trying to like, you know, say those lines and just like feel comfortable with it, you know, like make it your own.
Perfect. So
stuff
then,
like that.
yeah. So then, why don't we also record, like, President Green and I will just be in a breakout at some point too, just so that way we don't spontaneously try to pull it off, and that way we can think about it and make sure we get every point included in there. I think a recording will be more sufficient.
Yeah, that would be
great. Yes, will. It will. All right. Any other questions? The great presentation. Do somebody put in chat? What did they put in chat? They screwing around in chat. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, then.
Worry about what we doing, Ken.
Let me put my earbud back in my ear again after knocking that off. Announcements. Everybody should get your office hours done. Get your office hours done. Get your office hours done. Please get your office hours done. Please. Check Teams and your school email on like a daily basis, please. I will get you 1 second, Senator Willis. 1 second. To keep working on your student leadership training in those Blackboard courses, if you haven't yet already done so, they are a great time. You know, gather some of your other fellow senators along and see if you know more than they know about being a senator and your fellow student organizations in student life. It's kind of an eye-opening crowd, and it was fun. And then lastly, if you so need to dress up in costume, just say, yeah, do it. Yeah. No, but yeah, seriously, it's a good, nice way of bringing the spirit alive. Senator Willis.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to make an announcement. The Business Professionals of America organization is presenting a fall leadership conference. It's free. For the first time in life, we have opened it up to all students at all 16 technical colleges. And it'll be held next Thursday on Zoom on October 29th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I will actually just email you guys the flyer and the registration information if you're interested. But I just wanted to let you guys know, well, and it's not just BPA, it's all the Career and Technical Student Organizations, Skills USA, PAS, and BPA together. Thank you.
VP Rubio, so your hand up next.
Yes, so I wanted to touch on office hours. This was the first, this past week was the first week that every single senator logged their hours and met their hours, if not past the expectations, which is awesome. So I still have not even locked the sheet, you guys, because there's no reason to. So obviously I will do that, but it's not locked.
I swear to God, if everyone gives me an address, I'll send you a candy bar of your choice. I will do that. That's how proud I am of you guys. We did it. God, that's not the greatest. Come on, you guys, give yourself a pat on the back.
Why are you gonna send him something? It was ours that loaded.
I'm sending every one of you.
Oh, okay. I was saying,
choose to give me your address. You don't have to. I can't send you something. But if you choose to, I'll send you candy bar of your choice.
Okay.
So yeah. My dearest devotion to you and everything about you. Okay, so anything else that needs to be brought up before I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Somebody removed me from the meeting. Who was it? I'm busting it down right now.
I don't know. I'm having bad network quality again too. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I did put this new router in finally, but it's been working this, so it's not bad. But yeah. No, don't look like there's any questions. So when anyone's ready, I'll take a motion.
I move to adjourn.
All right. Senator Sabranik, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? By VP Boyd. All right. All those in favor, use the hand raising feature now. Nice. Cool. All right, and then lower them down, please. And just as a last bit of good practice, all those opposed, please raise those hand raising features now. And put them down. And any abstentions? And you can put them down. All right, this meeting's been adjourned. You guys have a great rest of your night. It's kind of rainy out, so do your best. But if it gets too cold, be on the lookout for ice. That's a killer right there, on top of all killers going on right with whole COVID. So just try a warm glass of milk, maybe a cup or a nice candy bar. What about that?
Everybody
That's all.
enjoy your weekend.
Yep. You guys are the best. You guys are the best.
Happy
Bye.
midterms.